So we're going to the game for Rants Review Friday. This time we're checking out Tenka Shogun Edition from Victory Point Games. This is a game about the lords of Feudal Japan fighting over the empire right before it crumbles. Let's open this up, talk a little bit about what you get inside, and a little more about the game. So this is the rule book here. And then here are our cards. So a little tracker. And our player boards. So I believe this game plays up to 8 players. Okay, so when you start the game, you have a number of decks that you're going to work with. There's 45 purple cards, and then there are additional cards that are basically knights, lords, priests, and provinces. You also have your through regalia cards. You automatically always add the through regalia cards, but with regards to the other cards, there's a number on the top right of the card. That indicates the amount of players in the game. So depending on the number of players in the game, which can be anywhere between 3 and 8, you're going to address the cards by removing out any ones that's numbers higher than the number of players in the game. We're going to pretend for the purposes of our system, just so we don't have to go through all the cards, that we're playing with 8 players. You're going to take all of these cards, which might seem like a daunting task, and you're going to shuffle them all up into one run. Ways to win the game is to have equal to the amount of provinces required at the beginning of the tracker at your turn, provinces equal to that amount. Another way to win the game is to have all through regalia, and then the last way to win is that if you continue the game long enough with reshuffling and you basically break down the requirements of the provinces down to 0, the game automatically ends as society collapses in Japan, and the player with the most items or cards in their inventory wins the game. Pretty straightforward. On your turn, you're going to have a draw stage, but at the very beginning of the game, all players get 8 cards to add to their hand. Play this face up just so everyone sees it. You get to pick 3 cards from your hand to place immediately onto the board. They are placed face down so no one sees them. And then once everyone's placed all their cards down, you place your cards up and immediately place them where they belong. So I have a knight that is placed, I have a province, and I have a priest. At the start of your turn, you must have the most priests in your court. You may draw and retain 1 extra card during your draw phase. The knight. Each knight in your court adds a +1 to your standing army strength in your battles. Province. You may play 1 additional card this turn. You may draw 1 additional card per province in your court. If you do, discard the number from among those that you drew this turn. So, at the beginning of your turn, you will check your provinces. I have 1 province, I need 5, I did not win. Then you will draw cards of 1 plus any additional provinces, plus if you have tied or equal to the most amount of priests. I'm going to say I have the most amount of priests since I have a priest on the board. So that means I get 1 card from my regular draw, 1 card from my province, and 1 card from having a priest. Now I look at all 3 of these cards, and I get to choose 2 of them to keep, which is really easy on this one. Oh, these 2 I keep. And those are going to be added in my hand. Now I can play 1 card, and then I get to play another one because of my province. Now, knights are a good place in the game to have to start because they're going to give you more defense and attack power when going against other players, while lords will give you more actions on your turn. Now I chose to place cards, which is fine, but You can also choose to do nothing to build up your hand. That way you have more cards to basically play from when things go into battle. You can also choose to battle, and you can choose specifically, like I said, to place cards. You can also choose to pitch cards. So you can basically take a lord, you can place it, or you can pitch it. And pitch it specifically says that choose any player, that player must remove a card from their court. If you want to do battle, you do have to discard a card from your hand to attack the players adjacent to you. Those will basically be your left and right people. If you want to attack someone across the table or anyone that's not directly next to you, you want to discard 2 cards from your hand. From that point forward, you will basically take your strengths. For instance, my player currently has 2 versus theirs. If they have more strength, they've successfully defeated the attack. If they have less strength, then they basically are going to be the ones that lose very clearly. Now, other players can join in and play cards from their hands to pitch into battle, or from their court to one side or the other. And then you can also, on your turn, the attacker can choose cards to pitch from their hand, and then the defender gets to choose cards to pitch from their hand at the end of all the pitching and playing of cards. Once that's all done, the difference of how many damage is done will cause someone to have casualties equal to the difference. Those cards are then basically discarded into a pile of casualties. The winner of the attack, if the attacker wins, will get to basically choose 1 card from the survivors to basically add to their face-up hand, or take a province from someone's place and put it directly onto their mat, which is nice. The gameplay is pretty straightforward in that regard. As you go through, you will deal with the deck. It'll get shuffled. It'll move that down, and it becomes easier to win as you keep going and going and going. But the mentality is you're going to want to attack people, mess with their province, and affect those cards' play. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty solid in that regard. And it's not that complicated to play, especially if you're a really big fan of, Feudal Japan. This is a real fun game to really get into. Plus, the cards have a lot of information and lore about the provinces, which is really cool. If you guys like this video, pick this up for yourself, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.